The producers of Tech AV Training Aids welcome you to another presentation on the subject of gas safety. In this program, we shall discuss important aspects concerning the handling and storing of portable gas cylinders. At the outset, it must be appreciated that gas cylinders are potentially hazardous objects, and their handling and storing, although uncomplicated tasks, present certain risks, as any incorrect action could result in personal injury and worse. The risks, however, are reduced when those involved in any way with the handling of gas cylinders have an understanding of the risks and know the correct and safe handling procedures. It must be remembered that gases possess different and sometimes deadly hazard factors, and that an accidental release of the contents of a cylinder due to careless handling can result in tremendous damage and serious risk to life. Gas cylinders are classified as being pressure vessels and are therefore subject to strict regulations. Let us begin as we take a look at typical industrial gas cylinders. Gas cylinders are produced in a variety of types, shapes and sizes. There are essentially two basic industrial cylinder types, namely high-pressure cylinders and low-pressure cylinders. A standard high-pressure cylinder is typically a heavy unit made of 6 mm steel and having an empty or tear mass of around 65 kilograms. The cylinder is of forged steel and no welded seams are used in its construction. Only the neck ring is welded to the cylinder. High-pressure cylinders are produced typically to store certain gases in a compressed state at pressures up to and sometimes exceeding 20 megapascals. Gas types that are usually stored at high pressure include oxygen and most of the non-reactive gases. We turn our attention now to low-pressure cylinders. This type is most usually made of rolled steel and they are of welded construction. The pressure rating of a low-pressure cylinder is determined by the metal gauge or thickness. Low-pressure cylinders are used typically to contain liquefied gases such as LPG, ammonia and chlorine, for example. Liquefied gases generate their own vapor pressure within the cylinder. At room temperature, most commonly encountered gas types generate relatively low vapor pressure, seldom exceeding around 980 kPa. The cylinder used to store the highly flammable dissolved gas acetylene is similar in construction to a low-pressure cylinder. However, the steel used is of much thicker gauge in order to comply with the strict safety standards associated with this gas. The stored pressure within an acetylene cylinder is around 1765 kilopascals. Another type, and the largest in the range of portable cylinders, is the cryogenic cylinder. These vessels are commonly used for the storage of supercooled liquefied gases such as liquid oxygen, nitrogen and argon. Every cylinder is fitted with a cylinder valve, also known as a delivery valve, and sometimes called a discharge valve. Cylinder valves are an integral part of any given cylinder and remain permanently attached to that cylinder. It is extremely hazardous to attempt to repair or remove a cylinder valve from its allocated cylinder. Some cylinder valves incorporate a pressure relief device. Pressure relief devices, where used, are fitted to prevent a cylinder from bursting in the event of a dangerous rise in gas pressure or temperature. Should a cylinder valve for any reason be accidentally broken off, especially on a high-pressure cylinder, the result could be catastrophic. Added to this fact, if the contents are corrosive or toxic, the resultant dispersal will generate a highly dangerous situation. In an effort to reduce the risk of a cylinder valve being broken off, cylinder manufacturers attach either a protection collar or a safety cap to the top of the cylinder. Protection collars provide access for the fitting of standard accessories to the cylinder valve. Protection collars must never be removed from their cylinders for any reason whatsoever. The filling of cylinders is an extremely hazardous operation, and only properly equipped, registered organizations may undertake this operation. Under no circumstance may the user attempt to refill any cylinder. Commercial cylinders belong to gas companies, and these companies assume all responsibility for the integrity of their equipment. Users have no authority to repair, alter the construction, or the appearance of any rented cylinder. From the perspective of safety, it is extremely important that you are able to positively identify the gas within any given cylinder. The rule here is that the only positive means of identification is from the manufacturer's product label. Every commercial cylinder must, by law, display its contents, its hazard identification, and relevant safety information on a clearly readable label. Further safety information for any type of gas can be obtained from the relevant material safety data sheet. Gas dealers or suppliers utilize a system of cylinder color coding in order for them to quickly identify gases in store. It must be made clear that for the end user, color coding alone is not considered a reliable means of positively identifying gas cylinder contents.